In the early hours of January 3rd, U.S. military strikes resulted in the apprehension of Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro. The sound of explosions echoed through the air as low-flying aircraft maneuvered over Caracas, the capital of Venezuela. During a rapid offensive that spanned under half an hour, at least 7 distinct blasts were reported. It seemed that the assault was aimed at military installations. Nahum Fernández, the leader of Venezuela's ruling party, announced that Maduro and his spouse, Cilia Flores, were apprehended in their residence located inside the Fort Tiuna military complex just outside of Caracas. Did Russia offer the U.S. free rein in Venezuela in exchange for Ukraine? Here's all you need to know. In 2019, Russian officials suggested that the Kremlin might reconsider its backing of Nicolas Maduro in Venezuela if it could gain more freedom to act in Ukraine, as stated by Fiona Hill, who served as an advisor to President Donald Trump during that period. During a congressional hearing in 2019, Hill mentioned that the Russians had consistently proposed a very strange swap arrangement between Venezuela and Ukraine. This week, her remarks re-emerged and gained traction on social media following the covert U.S. mission aimed at capturing Maduro. Hill noted that Russia promoted this notion via articles in its media, which alluded to the Monroe Doctrine, a 19th-century doctrine asserting that the U.S. would resist European interference in the Western Hemisphere, while also committing to refrain from involvement in European matters. This principle was cited by Trump as a rationale for the U.S. intervention in Venezuela. As per Trump's former advisor, while there was no official proposal from Russian officials, Anatoly Antonov, who was Moscow's ambassador to the United States at the time, subtly indicated on numerous occasions that Russia would permit the U.S. to exercise its preferences in Venezuela, provided that the U.S. reciprocated in Europe for Russia's interests. In April 2019, Trump sent Hill, who was serving as his senior advisor on Russia and Europe, to Moscow. She recounted that she informed Russian officials that Ukraine and Venezuela are not related to each other. During that period, she noted that the White House was in agreement with its allies in acknowledging Juan Guaido, the leader of the Venezuelan opposition, as the interim president of the nation. 7 years later, the landscape has changed significantly. With Maduro removed from power, the United States has announced its intention to run Venezuela. Trump has once again issued a bold warning regarding his intentions to seize Greenland, which is a self-governing region of Denmark and a member of the NATO military alliance. Additionally, he has threatened to employ military force against Colombia, accusing it of enabling the worldwide trafficking of cocaine. Experts indicate that the Kremlin is likely to be elated by the notion that major powers, like Russia, the United States, and China, are granted spheres of influence, as this reinforces the principle that might makes right. Trump's maneuvers in Venezuela complicate the ability of Kyiv supporters to denounce Russia's ambitions in Ukraine as illegitimate. The Trump administration has characterized its incursion into Venezuela as a law enforcement mission, asserting that the capture of Maduro was within legal bounds. While Russian President Vladimir Putin has refrained from making any remarks regarding the military action aimed at removing Maduro, the Foreign Ministry has released statements denouncing what it describes as U.S. aggression.